So Hurricane Beryl formed from a tropical wave that moved off the west coast of Africa around about June 23, 2024. Hurricane Beryl was the second named storm, the first hurricane to form for the season, the first major hurricane to form for that season, and of course it was one of two Category 5 hurricanes during the season. Additionally, it was the earliest Category 5 hurricane in our Atlantic records, and of course it was a deadly and destructive system.
I never take it so serious for myself. I go around and try to help the elder people, them batten up their wind and things like that. But personally, I never really think it will come. Because you know, we always think say Jamaica untouchable.
My father always said I must always watch the calm before the storm. Now this one was calm. So you know it was coming.
Before we even start seeing the sign of the hurricane, there was a cloud out in the south there. Stand up and we like a monster. You know, like it give you a sign, say yes. You line up on yourself for a come.
I prepare as much as I can, you know, put on some more type on the roof. And I say, well, that must get on hold it, but trust me, when Beryl comes, I say, no boy, not today.
When it begin close dark, then we begin to experience it.
It started to get dark and I said, oh my God, it is coming for real. Yeah, man.
Now, Beryl strengthened from a tropical depression to a major hurricane within 48 hours, 42 hours that is. And this made the system one of the earliest Category 5 hurricanes on record. Now, the eye wall itself, and this eye wall is that area of deep convection that has thunderstorms, the heaviest winds, the strongest rainfall. That part of the hurricane moved over those southern coastal areas.
We have a ceiling fan. And when we did it, I hear the whole stuff shakes and I say, that the ceiling fan drop on the floor. So when it drop, I just one light through the hole where the fan gone from. I said, that's it. Where the first one get back current, you know? see the light? Everything went up, man. I lose matches. And somebody just mash up if I really mash them up. What I think get mashed up?
I was back and forth from my house to my mom's house because she's very old and she was alone. So I decided that I was going to be at my house for a while because I had some very important documents. So that's where Beryl started on me, at my house. The wind was like, it was like going in a circle and then it was like whipping and you could actually see the wind, it was like white. All right, I said, Mom, we can't sleep tonight, you know, because I even had to put on this big garbage bag over my mom. Luckily, it didn't spend much time, you know, because if it had stayed even 10 more minutes, we'd be flattened. I lost just about everything. So when daybreak, I like change her clothes and take off the bag and give her warmth. I said, Mom, I'm going to walk through the community to see what really happened. And oh my God, it was devastating.
I was listening for voices of people, of my neighbors. That was my most concern. And then seeing my neighbor's roof start to fall, you know, it was devastating.
It was like a plane crash.
Up your whole skeleton, you know.
Trees were down, they were peeled, there was no leaf on the trees. It was a total disaster.
Yes, man. People go home with no house. I'm over his house, no house stop. They have to be searching for them family to see where they had gone. When I got up in the morning to come to work, I had to walk 11 kilometers to get here. But I did not come here to work. I was just observing. I would have come in the morning to look. When I came to work and I saw the situation here, I just jumped in to help. Absolute chaos. You know, people are here, they can't get to go home, they don't know what happened, the phone line are down, and then the roadway is impossible. So what we did, first thing we did, we made the road accessible, all the corridors as possible, so that people could go to and fro.
I remember this gentleman He's an elderly in the community, and he said to me that I am so happy that you are okay. Thank God for life, and that really resonate with everybody on that day.
There was no electricity, so there was no water, no drinking water. Most persons' tanks had blown away with whatever water we had in storage. I cannot forget this young lady. She's from Crossroads, and she came to me one day and she said, "Miss, let me tell you, it's me and my 2-year-old, and the roof is gone. The tarpaulin that is on there is tearing up as well, and the baby has asthma, and everything in the house is wet." There were many days that my eyes were never dry.
I was at my house doing cleaning up, and Jason Hensel, the chairman of Breads, he drive over. I don't know how he get there, but he get there and park his vehicle at some point and walk over and said to me, "I come for you." And there we went, and that was our first meeting. And then after that, we just explored. So I know I was the person who went out on the ground doing the assessment of the houses that was damaged. And I think, if I remember well, we would have contributed to 530 houses. I said, take me to your home. And when you go there, you're standing in the open, in the element, and looking at all their furniture, the bits and pieces all over, and the kids standing around you. And, people are coming over, they're hugging you, they're squeezing you. How can you help? Are you going to help us? When? And, to listen to that each and every day for 3 months wasn't easy.
I thought it was just my roof, but it's when I walked, the first place I went was the sports park, because that's my home, the sports park. And then I come up, I went to Calabash Bay, Old Wharf, where I used to work, even my workplace mash up. So, I was out of a job, out of a home, but thanks to Breads. That's where I got all my help from, Breads. They are the one that, they gave me just about everything. I can't complain.
Well, thanks to Breads. Breads fall in same time, and they get generator and they get Starlink. So we could come right here and charge, get our phone charged, so we can start make connection with our families overseas and even locally.
The first help came from GEM, which is Global Empowerment Mission. They sent down the first container. So we got tarpaulins, food boxes, so the boxes that came with supplies for a day for a couple of days for each family, as well as the generators. As we realized there was no contact for persons in the community, so we got help with a Starlink. So this plaza that we're in now would be crowded with people charging their phones, talking to their families locally and overseas, because nobody was able to get contact with anybody. After the assessment with Jason and Dennis and those guys and Rebecca, when they went out and we saw what the devastation was in the community, we started the GoFundMe to help. Now, in tandem with the match funding from NCB Foundation, is where we got the money from to start purchasing items for the roofs. For Jason's wife, Laura, who lives in Kingston, got together with her friends as well there, and they started getting in items like clothing, shoes, diapers, that kind of stuff, feeding for babies, that kind of stuff that we were able to distribute to persons in the community. So every day we'd have lines of persons needing help. I cannot forget this young lady. She's from Crossroads, and she came to me one day and she said, "Miss, let me tell you, it's me and my 2-year-old, and the roof is gone. The tarpaulin that is on there is tearing up as well, and the baby has asthma, and everything in the house is wet." There was no electricity, so there was no water, no drinking water. Most persons' tanks had blown away with whatever water we had.
We gave out at least 5,000 food packages. Treasure Beach Women's Group, went out and did these deliveries. Treasure Beach Women's Group also took doctors, to the areas, to elderly, just to look at them to see how they are.
There's a lot of the funding that we would have got. That money went straight into a generator to put at the plant or renewal that would have given the community in a whole water. And what we did with those generators is to give them to small business, lend them to small business who has restaurant and canteen and stuff like that, that you could say, okay, people who are helping to build back the community, there's a place that are preparing food and cold drink for those people to work through those hot days.
Thanks to Breads and the donors from overseas, from local communities, whoever. So food for the poor come in and breads as well and donate lumbers and zincs and that. So they're gone back to the roof. Life is back, I wouldn't say 100%, but almost 95%.